This episode of the Sports Box is brought to you by Mic'd Up Entertainment and DJ Mike Velardi. For all of your event planning needs, make sure you contact Mike at 609-864-5925 and tell him that you saw him on the Sports Box.
Well, hello again, and welcome to the show that may occasionally make you piss your pants. This is the Sports Box, where the only opinion that matters. It's right here. I am Mike Galetta, a.k.a. Hamilton Mike, along with my partner, Brian, the Rage Retard. Brian, how are you today?
I'm feeling fantastic. Nice little 4th of July weekend, relaxing.
Yep.
It was wonderful.
Back to the grind. We are back with you to talk a little NHL free agency. We are a week in NHL free agency, and man, it is heating up out there. Guys are just going like wildfire, and some of the money values out there are a little bit crazy. So Brian, kick us off a little bit.
Lots of dollars. So we're going to try to pick some of the big names here. Karl Alzner, the former Washington Capitals, signs a 5-year, $23.125 million deal.
Wait, is that $23 million?
$23 million to join the Montreal Canadiens.
Boom!
Mike, I got to tell you, I don't like the deal.
That's a lot of cash.
You're gonna hear this a lot from me, actually. I don't like the deal.
It's a lot of cash.
Karl Alzner is a guy to me who's not going to give you a whole lot offensively. You know, he's a defensive defenseman. In this league, he's kind of slow. He doesn't really give you a whole lot. He had 3 goals, 10 assists last season. This is the career 19 goals in 591 games. Listen, he's a guy that probably benefited from an offensive system in Washington. Montreal got some question marks.
You also loaded up on the defense now. You have Weber and him back there, so you got guys making big time money. You better shore up that defense. You better hope this works.
Big dollars.
In the way of Montreal.
Big dollars. When I talk about Montreal, not just on a free agent signing, but recently they extended Carey Price.
Yep. That was a good deal. You got
$10.5 million a year.
Yeah. Gotta love those 8-year deals.
Listen, by about year 5, they're gonna high regret that one.
I think he's the future of that team. I think he's going to be the guy who retires there. I think that's going to be a contract.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
Yeah. We talked briefly about it. He's not a real big name, but you saw him in the Stanley Cup Finals. Trevor Daley off the Detroit, 3 years, $9.4 million. Wow.
Trevor Daley really resurrected his career playing for Pittsburgh.
33 years old, though. I don't know if I'd give it that much money.
I don't really think Detroit's cap situation that they're really up against. They're not really going to compete either. I guess it's just a name there. Also leaving Pittsburgh, Nick Bonino. Nick Bonino signs a deal to go to Nashville, 4 years, 16.4. Not a fan of the deal.
You beat him, you join him.
I think it's a lot of money for Nick Bonino. I'd feel better if that was maybe closer to $3 million a year than $4. But again, is he riding high off of what he'd be able to do in Pittsburgh, surrounded by a lot of great talent?
Yep.
Not sure they're going to fit what Nashville needs, but who knows?
Actually, 2 players we broke here at the Sports Box. Dan Girardi out with the Rangers, off to Tampa Bay. 2 years, $6 million. That's is it a good deal? I don't know. Tampa Bay
no.
Tampa Bay just put somebody in there. No. Somebody in there. They lost Brian Boyle a year or 2 ago, so now they're just putting veteran leadership in there.
The short answer is no.
Right.
The long answer is, the hell are you doing? Dan Girardi said he was told by Stevie Y that he was going to be in the top 4. As a Rangers fan, I really hope he's in Tampa's top 4 because that's a grave mistake. Listen, Dan Girardi's career was done like 4 years ago. He's been an anchor on Ryan McDonough in New York. Happy that he's gone. Nothing against him. I was happy for his time in New York, but we're moving on. Tampa, I don't know what Tampa's doing.
Brian Elliott, we had broken here on the Sports Box too. Brian had tweeted out that the Sports Box had learned that the Flyers were talking to Brian Elliott on a 2 or 3 year deal. It happened, 2 years, $5.5 million. You know what? I'm okay with it. There really wasn't anybody out there to pick up in the way of a named goaltender. Here's a guy that can stay in the position for 2 years, probably not kill them, probably not get them over the hump. Just a guy to put in there to secure the position up a little bit.
Don't understand it.
No.
Don't understand it because, as we've spoken to at length on the Sports Box, the Flyers are not contending for anything anytime soon. They're building up to really have a nice young team going forward. In my opinion, the move here is to start Anthony Stolarz until he gives you a reason not to. You see what you have in the kid, and if not, find another one. They got other guys in the system.
No, I think Brian Elliott's fine. I don't think he makes you a Stanley Cup contender, obviously, or a playoff contender. But in the same sense, he's a guy there that's stable, that won't kill you, but that guy won't get you around.
Former Flyer Michael Delzato off to Vancouver, 2 years, $6 million.
See ya. It's my ass.
Michael Delzato's been known apparently to frequent dating women who do adult films. We'll see if he finds any in Canada.
Well, All right, on that
That's
note.
the rumor anyway.
Chad Johnson out of Calgary, not a big story, but goaltender Chad Johnson out of Calgary off to Vancouver, 1 year, $2.5 million. Unbelievable. Darcy Kemper, out of Minnesota, off to Los Angeles, 1 year, $650,000. That's a steal for a guy who's not for a guy that can see the light of day.
That's no money, but you know what is money?
What's
Evgeny Kuznetsov.
Yeah.
Evgeny Kuznetsov signed.
Wait, hold on, brace people for it.
All right.
Okay, go ahead. Give
That
it
magical number of 8 years, max contract, $62.4 million.
Did we say Washington at the end of this season had problems with cap? They've
actually compounded their problems with the cap, signing TJ Oshie to an 8-year deal,
I saw that.
and now Kuznetsov. Listen, over $8 million, close to $8 million, $7.8 million for Kuznetsov at this juncture in his career is insanity.
Actually, they weren't listening to Sports Box. They weren't.
No. Listen, the window in Washington, yeah, it's not looking good at all.
Yeah, it's double paint too. Nobody's breaking that glass.
And in order to fit him, they had to go ahead and ship Marcus Johansson to New Jersey in a sweetheart deal for the Devils.
Yep.
A second and a third. Things are going haywire.
The wily veteran of the San Jose Sharks, Patrick Marleau, off to Toronto, and 37 years old, 3-year deal, $18 million.
Yeah. Sure.
Wow. Sure. Okay. Well, that's good for Toronto.
I don't like it.
No, I hate it. I don't know what Toronto's thinking.
I would not have given Marleau that money or that term.
I would have given him a one-year option, a club option year.
Well, he was rumored to a couple different places. Him and Joe Thornton. Now, Joe Thornton ended up back in San Jose for a 1-year deal, but they were rumored to be kind of like a package deal. That didn't really materialize, but that's a lot of money for Patrick Marleau.
A lot of money.
But I will say this. I think he's missed about 30 games his career. I mean, he's been remarkably healthy.
Workhorse, so yeah.
He still had 20-some-odd goals last year, so it's not as if he's not going to help that team. I just don't know that was really what Toronto needed. And now the rumor is they might be moving somebody out like a Tyler Bozak or an Nazem Kadri.
Yeah.
We'll see if that happens, but I don't know. I think it's just a lot of money to give to a guy of that age.
Steve Mason out of the Philadelphia organization, as we all knew, off to Winnipeg. 2 years, $8.2 million. They needed a goaltender. They got one in Steve Mason, and also the elder veteran Ryan Miller on the move again out of Vancouver off to Anaheim. 2 years, $4 million. That's surprising.
I think his girlfriend's an actress, wants to live out in California, live the easy life. Hey.
He's still a decent goaltender, but well, anyway.
Those goaltending problems in Dallas are kind of coming a little bit to a close.
Yeah.
Antti Niemi was bought out, goes to Pittsburgh, 1 year, $700K.
Yep.
It's cheap. Let's see who else here. Alex Radulov, who was brought in and kind of resurrected by the Montreal Canadiens, ends up leaving to Dallas. 5 years, 31 and a quarter.
Dallas would throw money around again.
Dallas, yeah, I don't know where Dallas got all his cap space from.
They only got rid of one of the goaltenders, so that's not all the goaltenders.
But they also brought Ben Bishop in.
Yeah, so that's where we ended up in. So, Antti Niemi, off to Pittsburgh, 1-year deal, $700,000. That's a steal. Patrick Sharp going back to Chicago, where it all started because he was a Flyer at one point, but back to Chicago, 1-year deal, $1 million. Shattenkirk. Should we talk about Shattenkirk? That's right. Broken here on the Sports Box. This guy was salivating over the guy.
Oh, did you want to talk about Kevin Shattenkirk?
Yeah.
Let's talk about Kevin Shattenkirk.
You know what? When it happened, I couldn't call him for a couple of days. I had to he had to loathe a little bit and lay in the bathtub for a while and just let it settle a little bit. But I kick it off.
Shatty deuces.
4 years.
Signing with the Rangers. Listen, sweetheart deal. Sweetheart deal. And listen,
of course it was.
No, but it is. But it is.
It is.
So, obviously this has been talked about for the better part of 2 years. Kevin Shattenkirk, New Rochelle, New York native, was a Ranger fan growing up, idolized Brian Leetch, he wanted to go to New York. And you hear all of this coming into this that, the Rangers are kind of lukewarm, they don't want to give all this money, so on and so forth. And as it turns out, Kevin Shattenkirk calls the Rangers and says, will you take this deal? The prize free agent on the market. Now, New York obviously is no stranger to signing guys to long contracts, trust me. Any Ranger fan going back to the mid-90s knows what the Rangers have done. In this case, Mike, there is zero downside to this deal. 28-year-old kid, he signed for only 4 years, so you're not locked into that really long time frame. It's under $7 million. It's actually $6 2/3 million a year. Rangers needed a right-handed defenseman that can run the power play. This is a absolutely perfect fit. And when you thought it could have been one of those long-term deals that were going to really hamstring a team, Jeff Gorton said, we're not going to do that. Shattenkirk played ball. Shattenkirk, in the interviews, I think this is actually a really great story that a kid who wanted to go play for the team he idolized growing up, he took less money to do it. Mm-hmm. In a world where you got NBA guys making $40 million, you got a guy who took, now don't get me wrong, he's getting paid, but he took less money and shorter term, documented, because again, Jersey, Buffalo, these teams offered him more money in longer term to go to the Rangers. As a Ranger fan, I'm thrilled, and if you're one, you should be as well.
The last two for me, Justin Schultz, defenseman for the Pittsburgh Penguins, re-signs a deal, 3 years, $16.5 million. That's a good deal for him. A young defenseman, should be there a while. And Justin Williams out of Washington, we had said that's a speculation before, but back to Carolina where he once was, where he won a cup. 2 years, $9 million for a 35-year-old player. Justin Williams still a decent player, but I don't know about $9 million. That's a lot of moolah.
It is, but you know what else is a lot of moolah? I'm going to break some news here on the sports box.
Oh, go ahead.
You may have heard of a guy in Edmonton named Connor McDavid. You've heard the name once or twice?
Yeah, he got a little bit of cash today.
8 years, $100 million.
I don't think he has to worry about a credit card.
No, I think he's good.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy, but this actually is a good deal for the Oilers.
Yeah.
To lock him up, I mean, you know, they were talking him getting over 13. He got 12 and a half. You know, the problem I think that we're going to run into here for the Oilers is, now Draisaitl needs money. He'll get probably 8 to 9.
Yep.
And all of a sudden it becomes progressively difficult to field a team when you got guys making this amount of money.
Yep. He's going to have to defer or do
it's
something
going to
else.
be it's going to be hard to keep a team like that together, which is a shame because I mean they finally broke through this year.
And you're making one guy happy, but you're sacrificing a lot of other people.
I think the teams should be really concerned about this. Toronto with Austin Matthews.
Yep.
On a much shorter leash, the Islanders with John Tavares.
Yep.
Guys that are coming up for deals that are premier players. They look at a guy like what McDavid's doing and say, hey, where's my money? And it blows up your salary cap in a big, big way. For me, I'm a little concerned for some other teams, but listen, it's Connor McDavid, best player in the league.
Cody Francis still out there, hasn't signed with anybody yet. He's still a young player. A couple other guys are, like Gidlin, Jagr. I don't know if they'll get signed by anybody. They're up there. Dwight King from Montreal still out there. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten signed up yet. You're talking about Markov, not getting signed yet.
Well, he's got one team.
Yeah.
It's Montreal or
That's
nothing.
true.
They were talking to the Flyers. That made no sense. That was never going to happen. No questions there.
And just looking at the playership, Derek Bryan of Carolina is still out there. Drew Stafford from Boston still out there. Thomas Vanek still out there.
Yeah, Vanek's a guy you could see getting like a short-term deal, low money, because it's just he is what he is at this point.
And
but
Jordan Wheel did get signed before the deadline, so the Flyers did sign him, lock him up. And Yakupov, I mean, that's not a big deal. Still out there.
Edmonton still has a lot of deep-seated hatred for Neil Yakupov.
Yeah, he's still out there.
Really flamed out for him. So
that's about it. And that's all the time we have. Thank you for watching our NHL free agent tracker, and man, you can always get us on social media.
Absolutely, because we're going to talk a lot about Kevin Shattenkirk. You're going to make sure you follow us on social media at Sportsbox Show on Twitter and Facebook, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, and don't forget, remember, at the Sportsbox, the only opinion that really matters is absolutely right here. Thanks for watching. See you. 1, 2, 3.
Don't forget to subscribe.